Welcome back to another video. My name is Abby, and today we're talking about 3 ways that you can let go and move forward. Now, if you're new to the channel and you like videos like this, you want more videos that are going to help you create the changes and create the life that you want to live, hit that subscribe button right now and click the bell. It's going to let you know as soon as new videos come out. And if you really like this video, you want to support this channel, hit that like button below. It really goes a long way to spread this information. Now, for all of those of you who watch my videos, like obviously you right now, who have been so patient and supportive and encouraging during this time, I've taken a bit of a break, and I really appreciate all your support and love. And it was amazing to know that all of you guys were there supporting me and waiting patiently for me to come back. And I can't tell you how much that means to me and how much I love you. So thank you again. And I do have an announcement. Temporarily, I am going to be opening up one-on-one work. I know for sure that that is going to be a temporary thing. So you could be watching this live as soon as it's released, or you could be watching a year from now, and the link may or may not work. I know it's going to be a temporary thing. I know I keep saying it, but I just want you to know, if you have the desire to work with me one-on-one, now is the time to do it. So you get that link below. It's going to take you to a calendar. You get to pick what time is best for you, if I'm available at that time, and you'll pay on that site as well. It's very, very simple. I try to keep it as simple as possible. So again, it'll be an hour session. If you're interested in it, go ahead and hit the link below. If not, let's get back to the video. So 3 ways that you can let go of whatever it is that is going on right now. Chances are that if you're watching this video, there's something in your life that you're held up on, right? You're caught up on it. It could be about a relationship. It could be about something that happened about money. It could be anything really, any topic. So how do you let that go, especially if it was something really painful, especially if it was something really traumatic for you? Well, let's get into it. Well, the first thing that you need to do is understand what's happening. So this thing happened in your life. For instance, potentially maybe it was a romantic relationship. Maybe someone in your life, they cheated on you, or maybe they left you, or maybe they were just really, really mean to you. Well, it's happened, and now it's over physically. In your life right now, they're not around. That experience has ended. However, the effects of that experience are still with you today, as if they were happening right now. Your body literally is responding to that same situation. You might get triggered. Maybe somebody says a name. Maybe you have a nightmare. Maybe you see something that reminds you of that situation, and boom, your body moves right back to it. What you have to understand right now is that the meaning that you're giving that situation is really what is keeping it on your back. So that means basically that because that person left, or because that person cheated on you, you gave yourself a meaning. And really, a lot of times what I've seen and what I've personally done is that meaning basically is keeping you in the same view that you have of yourself. You have a self-image, a self-concept. So that person cheated on you, that person left you, that person was mean to you. It's going to add to that to help keep you basically prisoner. You're not aware of this, or you would let go of it, right? But when you do that, it's like proof. Essentially confirmation bias, which I've talked a lot about in my other videos. So it's like, oh, look, see, I'm not worthy. Look, that person doesn't love me. Therefore, I probably can't find anyone to love me. I'm not really worthy. Something's wrong with me. It could go on and on and on, whatever it is that root of the wound that you've experienced at whatever time of your life. And really, when there's that thing that you can't let go of, most likely in more of your adult or recent history, you go back and there's actually an original thing, and an original thing you might not even be aware of. So maybe a parent abandoned you. Maybe they were emotionally absent but physically there. Maybe they actually physically left. Maybe they just were very unsupportive of you. Whatever it is, that is most likely what is going on, which is creating these things, and you continue to drag these experiences with you. Well, you have to understand not only about the meaning you're giving it. So you're giving this thing, okay, that person left, then I'm unlovable. Something was wrong with me. Oh, okay, that person cheated on me. Well, if I was better, if I was more attractive, maybe if I didn't have this extra weight. You're making you wrong, rather than seeing them doing their own thing and they're having their own wounds, and now you get to move on. Well, you're giving it a meaning, and that meaning is essentially anchoring you to that experience. The other really powerful thing to understand is that every time you open a memory, every time you remember a memory, you store whatever your experience is right now. In the meantime, that's stored in there. So for instance, think about a computer file. If you were to open up the file and you're in a great mood, well, when you close that file, that's going to be in that file. If you're pissed off and you open that file, when you close that file, that energy of wherever you are, that experience you're having right now is actually influencing the memory that you're calling upon. So for instance, if you really love this person and you really wanted to be with them, again, you also need to look at the meaning that you're giving that person. It could be amount of money. Maybe you were supposed to get this job and you thought you were going to get it and then you didn't. Well, you're giving yourself a meaning, right? You're giving yourself, if I was better than this, or if I had that thing, then I'd be happy. If they wouldn't have left me and I'd still be in that relationship, then I would be happy. I'd have everything I wanted. You're rejecting yourself. So I hope you can see these things that are start evolving that, okay, self-rejecting, self-denying, and you're just like limiting yourself because this thing happened. Really, in the big picture, you could say, oh, that person was really insecure and they wanted to go do this, this, or that. Or if it's a job, thinking, oh, actually not getting that lower paying experience could actually open me up to a higher paying job. Those are all meanings, but it's pivotal that you understand that every time you open that meaning, every time you open that memory, if you're in a bad mood and sad for 4 years and you keep remembering the same thing, that memory is going to be distorted. Most of the memories you have are not actually how they happened. So keep that in mind as you're recalling this thing, this experience that happened to you. Most likely it has morphed into something else. I'm not at all invalidating your experience or saying what you're experiencing isn't accurate. I believe that you're having a hard time. I believe that this is painful for you. And realize these things, okay, if your mind can get there, okay, what if I'm actually distorting this? What if I actually didn't like the person as much as I thought I did? What if that job, I really didn't want it? I just wanted the people to look at me and get, a better recognition in society or by my friends or by my family. I wanted more respect. Again, it's the meaning you're giving it. So when you can start finding then what meaning you were wanting, what thing you were wanting from it, then you can start pulling back your power. Now, the second thing you can do to let go of the past so you can move on is understand whatever you resist will persist. And what does that mean? Well, I'm going to show you with this really high-tech example. So I've got a piece of paper here, okay? And I'm going to put it against the wall. And I'm going to push on it, right? I'm resisting, I'm pushing against the paper. I'm giving it resistance. So it's staying here. Now, if I were to let go of the resistance, the paper falls. And the whole point of this analogy or this example is understanding that when you're pushing this pain away, when you're pushing this experience, no, denying, no, it's not that bad, I was fine, I didn't actually care about it, right? Yet it continues to follow you and it continues to have an emotional, detrimental effect in your life. Well, when you're resisting that pain and not willing to sit with it, it's basically like a stalker, right? If you go and you give it attention, you ask, what is it that you want? And I'm not at all saying talk to stalkers. I'm just saying the sense that if you actually face it and you give it the attention, what is it that you want to teach me? What is it that you need from me? What awareness and what presence do you need from me so that you can essentially turn it into an alchemical process? And that's a fancy word for calcification, which is essentially burn away the impurities. What huge wisdom is in this experience for you that will actually benefit your life if you can sit with it, if you can find the support, the guides, the coaches, the teachers to help you with that process, to turn that into gold through an alchemical process. And a lot of that it can be painful, it can be uncomfortable. But when you understand what is on the other side of it, then not only will you let go of all the things that don't really matter that are causing you pain right now, but that pain can be transmuted into wisdom and benefit you, make your life better, only if you're willing to let go of the resistance of it. Accept that you still have pain, accept that it hurts, accept that it's not something you want to think about or deal with. However, only when you deal with it, only when you give it the attention and the respect and the awareness, being conscious with it. What is it you want to teach me? then you can move on. Then you can transmute it and leave all that pain in the past and carry that power into your future so you can make better decisions and you can start to live and create the life that you want to live, and you won't be in that same old lesson. Because if you continue to resist those painful lessons that God, the universe, whatever it is that you believe, is trying to teach you, trying to help you by kind of cracking you open and showing you a new version, a new iteration of yourself. If you're not aware of that, you're going to get the same lesson and it's going to be painful. So once you can sit in it, you've already got the pain, so you might as well transmute that, and then you can move on to the next lesson. Now, the third thing that you can do to let go and move on is to start to ask yourself, who would you be without the weight of this burden? How would you move through the world? And basically spend time with that. Start to imagine, start to visualize, as Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about, start to mentally rehearse. What is that going to do? Why, Abby? I'm just going to be over here being delusional, being, using illusions. How is that living in reality? Well, it really has to do with what you consider reality. Well, Dr. Joe talks about that when you're using that time to visualize, you're actually creating new neurological pathways. They've shown this with people that practice piano, that people who physically practice brain scan before and after, they obviously have new neurological pathways. People who didn't do any sort of visualizing didn't have any new neurological pathways. The people who only mentally rehearsed for the same amount of time as the people who physically played the piano had significant neurological pathways developed from their visualization, meaning that your mind is powerful in its visualization abilities, meaning there's physical evidence that your visualizations are making a change in the matter, in this 3D world. So when you sit there, who would I be? How would you move through the world? What would it feel like? How would you be? How would you speak? What would your emotions be like? The other thing you're going to be doing from Dr. Joe Dispenza's work is creating a new state of being. And I'm going to throw in this chart from Dr. David Hawkins from Power versus Force. And why I like it is because it not only shows the emotional aspects on one side, but it also shows the corresponding brain waves, meaning that you'll be in a lower brain wave with the higher emotions of love and joy and peace, as opposed to those more hostility and anger and resentment and all those, which are higher frequency brain waves, meaning your brain and your heart are not in coherence. So when you start to ask yourself, you move into a new state of being, how you think and how you feel. An attitude is how you think, how you feel, and how you act. And it's your personality, right? Your personality creates your personal reality, according to Dr. Joe Dispenza. So as you're starting to ask yourself, who would I be? You're going to start to see, oh, well, what about this? Or what about that? Or wow, that would feel really good. You're also going to be incorporating Neville Goddard's Living in the End. The secret to everything is the feeling. Why also is that? Is because your subconscious speaks through feeling. So when you give permission and consent for something to be true, for that new version of you to exist, for you to exist past that experience, that experience actually helped create a deeper, wiser version of you, that's when you can start taking the power from your past and pushing it towards your beautiful future that you're going to create, the life that you love. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, click subscribe. If you haven't done so already, like this video, and I'll see you on the next one.